Odiai Faye is spending his first night in the presidential villa in Senegal. He was earlier today sworn in as the 15th youngest elected president in Africa. Ariza's senior correspondent Odiai is in Dakar and has this story.
A determined look on his face as he takes the oath of office to become Africa's youngest elected president.
Under my leadership, Senegal will be a country of hope, a country at peace, with an independent justice system and a strengthened democracy. This is my promise, based on the oath I have just taken before God and the nation, in your presence.
And in his first speech, Faye harped on unity and peace, while vowing to tackle corruption.
I am aware that the results of the ballot box express a profound desire for systemic change. Through my election, the Senegalese people have committed themselves to building a fair Senegal, a prosperous Senegal, a progressing Africa.
Right here at the International Conference Center in Senegal, history has finally been made. The youngest president in the continent, Odiai Faye, has been sworn in as the next president of Senegal. The days ahead will show if he's able to meet the expectations of Senegalese in tackling the issue of boosting the economy and also tackling the issue of youth unemployment.
As expected, thousands of Senegalese inside and outside the International Center are waiting to see how the president will, from day one, take charge of affairs.
This is an exciting day, and I would say a historical day, because as you know, Senegal is one of those few countries in Africa where we have an established democratic tradition. We have elections on time and so on. This one was a little bit fishy, and I'm sure everybody is aware of it. So there was a time where we almost lost hope. But thank God, with the determination of our people, so this is a great day for Senegal, and I believe for Africa as a whole. Experience is important, but I think judgment is more important than experience, because you also have experience that is experience in crookery, okay? Who need that kind of experience? So the incumbent has always been pounding that argument that the guy is young, he never held any high position, therefore giving him the country is like giving the country to adventurers. I said, don't look at what people say about themselves, look where they went and see.
He said earlier the stability of Africa first, and Senegal in particular. Our economy and our faith in all the structure of legal and all the organizations and the basis of all country. Yes, it's my expectation. It's the first sector, agriculture, microfinance, to improve the basis of the population. I think it is the first step of the economic's improvement.
I guess the president already told us about the Senegalese in his first declaration, telling that today Senegalese people, they need to have better life. They need to have all the essentials that, goods to be have price downgrades. So foods, to have locations, to have also better values in terms of foods, I guess. So this is the main things that populations are expecting, because the life is very hard for them, and they would like also to have those goods be decreased. You know, African people, mainly they are poor. So if the government can help them to decrease the price of these essential goods, this is the main expectation that population are expecting.
As ECOWAS chairman, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu was at the inauguration alongside other top African leaders.
I believe the new president is capable. He's got the country behind him, so he has a lot of political capital. He's got a very strong mandate. It's a youthful population, and we pray that he will set a very good example. And of course, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is fully there to support him as chairman of the ECOWAS heads of state and government. So ECOWAS is also fully behind him. Nigeria is fully behind him, and we're happy.
With the ceremony over, Diomaye Faye steps outside for his fourth presidential honor as the commander-in-chief. And as he steps into the car and drives to the presidential palace, residents here are hoping that this new dawn will be favorable for one of Africa's most stable democracy. Odiai, Arise News, Dakar, Senegal.
And Odiai joins us now live from Dakar, Senegal. Good to see you again. It's been a moment in history and a moment in time for a lot of Africans and journalists like yourself. Paint for us a picture after the swearing-in. You spoke to a cross-section of Senegalese and some other Africans. What truly is the most important thing that the Senegalese are looking towards from their new president?
Jobs, and more jobs. Yes, he got into the presidency owing to the massive vote and support of the young Senegalese who stood by him at all times and expects that he will also be able to prove his mettle in this case by providing jobs for them. There's a high rate of youth unemployment in Senegal, and they hope the president will be able to tackle this. Also top on the agenda is the issue of corruption. But then just before we go into that, it's also important that it tries as much as possible to unify the country in the build-up to this election. And the build-up, even after his victory, there was a need to really reconcile the issue of unity in Senegal. So that is why you saw in his very first speech as the president, as the newly sworn-in president of Senegal, he harped on the issue of peace and unity.
And it does seem this young 44-year-old president has the weight of Africa on his shoulders. I mean, the whole of Africa is expecting a lot from him. He didn't miss the opportunity to stress that he will defend the constitution, the territorial integrity of Senegal and national independence. Speak to us more about some of these promises that he made. And you talked on corruption earlier. You want to expand on that?
Yes, he vowed to tackle corruption. He also, like he said in the build-up to after he won the election and also giving his first presidential speech to renew those mining licenses with those foreign partners. He talked about the issue of having some sort of systematic change in governance. So a lot on the shoulders of this 44 years old youngest elected president in Africa, and we get to see as time rolls by if he's able to match action with words.
Absolutely. And Odiai, thank you very much for us. You've been on this from the get-go. Thank you so much. We'll be keeping an eye on things as they develop in Senegal. Wish the new president all the very best.